Hi, Lleyton. Uh, I would have loved to have come to your Eagle Court of Honor and couldn't make it work out. And so I wanted to send you this message and wish you a congratulations for all your hard work. As you know, there's a tradition in our family of scouting, and it starts with your great grandpa Rowley and your grandpa Rowley, and they were scouting was a big part of their lives, and they kind of um, handed that down to me, and it's been handed down to you. And you know a little bit about that, and you've seen your grandpa Rowley's some of the memorabilia that he left behind that was important to him and a part of his life. But I wanted to just tell you a story about what it means to me, so that you have uh, some notion of that. So, as I thought about kind of a story to tell you, I decided that I would tell you about a time when I got to use my first aid skills, and how the motto to be prepared meant something to me in my life. Um, when I was a scout, first aid was interesting to me, and I always felt like it would be really good for me to know first aid. And so after I became an Eagle Scout and I went to junior college, I took a first aid class. And that was a pretty cool opportunity because over the course of 17 weeks, I got to spend 3 hours a week in class, getting pretty deep into all of that. And one of the things that we did is get CPR certified. And on the day that I was scheduled to be tested on CPR, I had pulled into a parking lot at school at the college, and I was walking to my first class, and I noticed I heard a scream, and it came from an area where there was kind of a food court. As I passed through the building I was going to my first class, a student ran in and said to a professor who was next to me, walking down the hall next to me, that someone had just been hit by a truck. And I instinctively ran out the door of the building to where I had heard that scream. And what I saw there was a big box delivery truck, and it was stopped kind of on a wide sidewalk because it was near the food area. It had been making a delivery. And as it was backing out, a middle-aged woman who was a returning college student there wasn't paying enough attention and walked behind that truck. The truck had rolled over her and was now she was underneath where the fuel tank was, underneath the driver's side door. And as I ran up there, there was a crowd of people, and they were looking at her, but no one was helping her. She was pretty injured, probably because I wasn't there to see the trauma of the injury. I just went right to work, and I mean, I had going on in my mind right then, as I was literally walking through school, all the steps to perform CPR. So as I got to her, I noticed that she had what looked like a compound fracture on her femur. She was bleeding around her nose. Her eyes were open. She was not conscious, and she was injured pretty badly. That was obvious. I checked her breathing. She wasn't breathing, and a guy came down to help me get her on her back so that we could start CPR. And I remember looking off into the parking lot where the world was normal at that moment, and coming back, and I had this woman's head in my lap, and I was about to pinch her nose and breathe into her body. And I remember thinking, I don't want to do this, and feeling a little scared. But I did it, and I breathed for her, And at that time, you do 2 breaths and then you begin CPR if there's no pulse. We checked her pulse, there was no pulse. And as we were getting her in position so that we could start CPR, the paramedics came and they took over. So that was all the interaction that I had. She didn't live. And so this isn't a hero story. What it is for me, is a poignant feeling of what it is to be prepared and to be able to do hard things and to try to help people. And when you go on your mission, there'll be people that maybe don't accept the air that you give them, but you'll try, you'll be prepared, and it'll be a hard thing, and you'll have learned some of that and acquired a taste for some of that in scouting. And so I just again want to congratulate you. I want to encourage you along the path and tell you that we love you, that we're proud of you, and congratulations.